Sensational, damn it!
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Please drop everything and take a look at this video right now.
Because when I get to office, we are going to not charge taxes on tips, people making tips.
Eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Because when I get to office, we
Wow, I can't believe. How did Kamala come up with this kind of platform? How did she even come up with that idea to not tax tips on American workers? Well, if you look at her website,
Line dog face.
sorry, if you look at her website, she is running on absolutely nothing. She doesn't know yet. According to reports on the leftist people on Twitter and everything, on Monday she's going to be dropping the mother load on everything happening in her platform. Pickle for Hillary, hello. I tax tickets. I'm not gonna read that this morning. It's Sunday morning, Pickles. I'm going to church after this. She is not running on anything. So if you're not running on anything, you can just kind of pluck ideas from things. You know, it's like planting seeds in someone else's garden and then claiming the blossoms over your own. And you're like, you know what? Those are my plants. I don't think you planted those. Oh yeah, I definitely planted those. But let's look at the online to see how the social media is taking care of it as well. If they aren't going to tax tip, if they aren't going to be taxed on tips, says Pickles, I will just keep the money and make up for it when I have to pay for taxes. Exactly. But let's check out on the media. Fox News, of course, says Trump accuses Harris of stealing his no tax of tips. So on Fox News, if you get your news from the right is going to be saying this everywhere, that Trump is stealing his tax or tips, all that kind of stuff. And then if you go to places like Reuters, Harris says that she supports eliminating tax on tips like Trump. Did she say like Trump? Did she give Trump credit? Did she say anything about Trump? Because if we look at this video, it looks like she just takes it on herself.
are going to not charge taxes on tips, people making tips.
Also, he's not taxing on Social Security as well.
Eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Hospitality. But if you go to my favorite source, the New York Times, who I'm not going to pay for, but I will show you what they say. The headline is, rallying in Las Vegas, Harris pledges to end federal taxes on tips. Oh, so if you get your news from the most trustworthy news source there ever is known to mankind, that being the New York Times, she's come up with it on her own. I mean, she's literally God's gift to us. I'm excited. You're excited. This is the most historic thing to ever happen in any election. If she just starts taking on the whole MAGA premise, if she starts making hats that say "Make America Great Again," it's because she did it herself.
I'm gonna come.
Okay, but if we go into seeing how Donald Trump is responding into it, because I can't imagine what that's like to just come up with this kind of idea. Yes, it's cool that both of them like this. Yeah, I will say that. I will give that credit. But to act like you're the sole proprietor of this information and this thought process is absolutely ridiculous. So here's Donald Trump, my favorite. Kamala Harris, whose honeymoon period is ending and is starting to get hammered in the polls, just copied my no taxes on tips policy. The difference is she won't do it. She just wants it for political purposes. This was a Trump idea. She has no ideas. She can only steal from me. Remember, Kamala has proposed the largest tax increase in history. It won't happen. Make America great again. The whole idea of Kamala Harris and lowering taxes makes absolutely no sense, considering her entire platform is expanding the government and making more power within the government. And when I say her entire platform, I'm just going based on what she supported in her past, not what I think she's supporting now. Because if anyone has any idea what she's all about, no one has any idea. She is just using these vague terminologies and supporting these vague ideas in order to garner your vote. She's using your emotions and the feel-good factor completely. But of course, this is how the left is responding to the whole stealing the no tax thing. Here's Brian Krasensen, who I do not recommend to follow because he's just a hack. Shouldn't you be happy? Just be happy she's using the no tax on tips. Just be happy. I mean, if you're really excited about pushing no tax on tips, the fact that both candidates, I mean, if you were really, that both, God, I can't stand. It's like, it doesn't matter. There's no reflection. There's no moment of, wow, I can't believe she actually did that. At least give Trump credit. No reflection. No stopping, just double down, and because it matters more to win than to have an honest conversation. These are the guys that pretend to be like the moderate people on the platform as well. I mean, if you're really excited about pushing no tax on tips, the fact that both candidates now support it should make you super excited, right? Oh no, you don't actually support the policy. You support the idea that the policy to buy Trump votes. You know, it's just God. This election season is so full of propaganda and so full of irrational anger and irrational thoughts and beliefs. It's insane. The gaslighting that has been shoved down our throats daily has been so overwhelming that I've had to take a pause and just think about my whole life and remind myself that we're in an election season. We're not in a season where people are being honest and thoughtful and thinking through ideas and trying to put the best idea forward. It's about your person winning. And so they'll do and say anything in order for your person to win. Like finding somebody's idea, taking it for yourself, and then telling the world that you came up with it. Or what's better, what the Democrats do best right now is they're pretending that Donald Trump's not even running. And they're doing the whole propaganda right now around Trump is that he's a blobbering old fool and he doesn't make sense and his whole party is weird and that everything they do is weird and that Kamala is the grounded, well-spoken individual who has a lot of energy